the people call us the chosen nation, but it's not really correct. It's really the choosing nation, because we chose to follow God. We said, when the giving of the 10 Commandments, we said Nasa v'nishma, means we will do whatever's in the Torah, and we will listen to it, we'll understand it, we'll obey it. And that's the promise that the Jewish people made. At that point, a Jew cannot eat cheeseburgers. A Jew cannot profane the Sabbath. A Jew cannot do a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that a Jew is supposed to do. And the point is that the Jew is like a lightning rod of the world. If the Jewish person is keeping Hashem's Torah, this will help all other nations to be influenced by them, and the world will become a better place. If the Jewish person is assimilating, if he is doing the same things that everyone else is doing, or is doing the same things as the worst people in the world are doing, so the world has lost its social barometer, and Hashem has to bring. It's basically saying, in Germany during World War II, it was tremendous amounts of assimilation. I once saw a letter that a rabbi wrote in 1920 in Germany, and he just said in the letter, by 1920, 80% of the Jews in Germany are not keeping the Torah anymore. This was in 1920. Assimilation was happening very, very fast. If the Jewish people are not keeping Hashem's Torah, then the whole world goes off kilter. And so Hashem then inspires the other nations. And really, it's the blessing that Isaac gave to Esau. I think in English they pronounce it Esau. I think his name is actually Esau. So Isaac gave him a bracha that Jacob came. When they were 15 years old, Esau went and sold his birthright to Jacob. So really, Jacob is supposed to get the bracha now. But Isaac didn't know that. He didn't know that this sale took place. So he was going to give the blessing of Esau. He gave the blessing of Esau to Jacob. And when Esau came, he said, "There's no blessing for me, Father. Like there has to be something for me." He realized he had been tricked, and so Isaac saw the extreme distress of his son, so he gave him a blessing. The blessing was, "By your sword you will live, but your brother you will serve. But it'll be that when you are aggrieved, you can remove his yoke from upon your neck." So when Esau is aggrieved, what does that mean? As long as the Jewish person is keeping Hashem's Torah, like everything makes sense. But if the Jews are not keeping Hashem's Torah, so then why should they have a privileged status? Why should they be deserving of these blessings that Isaac gave them? So when the Jew is not doing what they're supposed to do, they're not keeping Hashem's Torah, so that's when anti-Semitism begins. That Hashem inspires the other nations to rise up against the Jewish person. The Jewish people, as they traveled through Europe, they were it follows the same pattern, that they come to a country, they're keeping the Torah, they're given equal rights in that country. So then they begin to assimilate, and once they start assimilating, then all of a sudden there's anti-Semitism, and they're thrown out of that country. And they go to and there's devastation and there's tragedy, and the Jew has no choice but to return to Hashem. And you see the same things happening I described in the beginning of our interview. The same thing is happening in Israel right now.